Something else we'll be watching next week other than that cool front is the tropics or other tropics and Invest 98. All right, here's where it's at this morning. It's not better organized. We still don't have a closed circulation. We still don't have really anything more than what we had yesterday. Just a sloppy tropical wave, and it's sitting just off the coast of South America here, approaching the ABC Islands, so towards Aruba later today. And it's moving west 15 miles an hour, so it is moving. Still battling shear from the north thanks to the outflow of Fiona. Fiona's a Cat 4 moving north, so you've got that northerly shear pushing down on it. Now that shear is going to start to relax into the weekend. It'll still be there today. It'll still be there somewhat tomorrow. But as we get into the Saturday and Sunday time frame, as it moves further into the Caribbean here, that shear will start to relax. And it's going to be in a very favorable environment to intensify. This will be mainly this weekend. Now notice the timing of this, just kind of showing it traveling through. We still have a solid 5 days or so before it approaches some portion of the Gulf of Mexico. So give or take, a day on average around Tuesday is when it could enter the southern Gulf. It's Thursday. That's 5 days from now, and we just need to see how things evolve through the Caribbean, especially through this weekend. And then by early next week, we're going to have a really good idea on where the thing is going to go. And even by this weekend, I think we're going to have a much better idea. Models do agree. They're tightly clustered. It's going to do its thing for the next several days, traveling through the Caribbean here. And then where it starts to get a bit tricky is into early next week, Sunday night into Monday, as it starts to get pulled to the north to the Gulf. Where does it jump off into the Gulf? Does it jump off closer to Cuba? Does it go more towards the Yucatan Channel, or does perhaps it go more to the Yucatan? These are all solutions that could play out, and our models, well, there's not going to be a lot of confidence in them just yet because we don't have a center just yet. So all these scenarios are still possible, and then where it jumps off in the Gulf is going to determine our risk factor and where it goes in the Gulf of Mexico. Our global models, the GFS and the Euro, these are our two big ones, show the scenario very well because they have vastly different outcomes towards next week. Now, towards the weekend, they're showing much of the same thing, but as we get into Monday, that's when they start to diverge on what they do. The European model brings it up towards Cuba, jumps it off into the Gulf, and throws it into Florida. If that was a scenario, we would have beautiful weather. The GFS is a bit further and slower with its turn, brings it further towards the Yucatan Peninsula, slows it down, and if it jumps off closer to the Yucatan, if it's slower, this would be a scenario we'd have to watch more closely along the central Gulf of Mexico. For our sake in Louisiana, we would want a quicker turn and moving to the north more quickly off towards Florida. Of course, we don't want it to go to Florida either, but that would be a better scenario for us. A more western and slower solution, that would be a worse solution for us. So we just got to wait and see until that center forms how things evolve. Just want to mention, Fiona moving to the north. It'll be near Bermuda tonight as a hurricane, up towards Canada as a powerful storm tomorrow night, and then those others, they're not going to be an issue for anyone, it doesn't look like.